I remember Nito one time when I got to be friends with Nito, he said, this was just a profound moment for me. Nito looked at me and said, I'm going to introduce you to Robert Henry and you will be best friends. Just like that.
Yeah.
And he walked me over and introduced me. And that's how intuitive Nito was about people's personalities and their connections. And he knew we had the same kind of heart as you and I do, which I'm proud to say. And I hope
Me too.
Listen, I mean, that's honor for me to even, I can't believe I said that, but I feel that way about you and how much you've helped me, because you were the one that called me. I'll never forget, I joined NSA. And, in all clarity, it's because I was telling Jeannie's baton story, and I've told this before on this show, which was not right. But the funniest part was Jeannie, you know how Jeannie was so protective of her stories, which is the funny thing was somebody did the video of her or audio doing one of her bits. Don't send a man to a grocery store, which wasn't that bit. I think Al McCree told me it was called The Grocery Store Debacle. It wasn't even that. It was something else. And it took her story, and that's what made her who she is or was, and still in the minds of people that love and remember her. But back then, oh boy, and I didn't know. I wasn't even a member of NSA. And I sent her my VHS tape. Now, dating myself. And she called me, and I said, I must be good. No. And Jeannie, the first thing she said was, are you telling my baton story? And I went, I've told that thing so many times. Frankly, I am sick of it. That was probably not the best thing.
No.
And she was very kind and had said to me, that's something that it's like a code of ethics in our NSA family. That is one of my signature stories. And I mean, so she shared with me that that's just not the best thing to do. Talk about turnaround. I had a friend. I was helping her. She wanted to speak, and she came to hear me speak. And she went up to the client and said, I just had Caroline. That was the weirdest part. And here I was pregnant with Caroline when Jeannie and I talked. Just had Caroline. It wasn't maybe a month later. And this unnamed person I won't name went up to the client, convinced her to hire her, and she did my speech. My whole speech, the whole thing. And the client called me and said, who's the liar? And I remember I had Caroline. I was in that back bedroom. I was so upset because I'd had a cesarean, not just because of that, but I walked myself with staples and stitches to this office and called her and said, I can't believe you did that. But and then I thought, wow, now I know how Jeannie felt.
How did she respond to that?
Oh, she was, I didn't use your whole speech. I just used some. And I said, well, you used enough of it that now both of our credibilities are garbage to this client who has other people in the industry that she will not be recommending us. Yeah. And I mean, your stuff that you work on and polish, and boy, it's sacred stuff. It's sacred. And that's a really bad thing to do when someone spends as much time and effort and energy trying to create. As I told somebody the other day, some numbers are funnier than others. Some words are funnier than others. Like when in an elevator, you wouldn't say, how about press 2? That's not funny. How about press 9 or 5? Now that's funnier.
Yeah.
So we spend time just hyper focusing on tiny things that we think will make the story sizzle. As you know, what a brilliant thing for you to be exposed to, Al, to polish and shine your stories, to have Jeannie's ear. Oh, I cannot imagine.